Hello my lovelies. Today's video is going to be a bit different as it's coming to the last month and a bit until I leave. I only have 3 weeks left of school at UF. I thought I'd make a video, just tips and tricks and talking about my experience of coming to UF on an exchange year. I'm going to try and cover things that I just feel like people always ask me and things which I think like I would have wanted to know before I came here. First thing I'm going to talk about is dorm rooms. This is the main thing people ask me. All my friends at home ask me because obviously it's such a big difference between UK halls and US dorms. I live in a dorm room, as you can see. Also, this is falling down, so just ignore. Yeah, I share a room. I've had such a good experience with it. I think this is such a hard one to answer, but it really depends. Like, I got so lucky. Me and my roommate are literal best friends. Like, I know people who don't like their roommate, and obviously like that's kind of shit, but I will say most people do just get on with it and it seems to be fine. Like, there hasn't really been things I've heard of. I've just got on with it and there hasn't been anything like major. I live in an international dorm and they basically pair one exchange student with one US student. The other really good thing about living in an international dorm is that you find other British people, which obviously you're here to branch out. A load of my friends are British, and I will say that especially at the start, having that like piece of home and having other people who are on an exchange year, just in general, not necessarily British people, but just in general having other people who are in the same boat as you was really just like beneficial, I think, and just like such an easy way to make friends. You have so much common ground. Yeah, I would say dorms has been really good for that. The one thing I will say that isn't great about dorms is you share a bathroom. Personally, I don't care that much and I got used to it quite quickly, but like you're the kind of person who doesn't like that. I can see that, but for me it doesn't bother me that much. Speaking of roommates, I'm literally wearing my roommate's jumper right now. She's gonna be annoyed at me. Sorry girl. I've had a really good experience with it. It's a bit hit or miss, but it's cheap. And that's kind of why I went for it, and it's kind of that US experience. Like, you never would do this at home. Yeah, that's dorms. Okay, second thing people ask me is what frats are like. Obviously this is so dependent on what university you go to. At the University of Florida, Greek life is like a big thing and like they take it really seriously. Frat parties are genuinely what you imagine it will be like. Like, it is actually crazy and I don't really know how to like explain it without like showing it, and in some of my videos there are like frats and stuff so you can see that, but yeah, so we have a frat row and there's just like loads of frats. You can just go to frat parties. Tailgating is so fun, like when you go out to the frats before a game. Those ones are always so fun. The other thing about frats, you get free alcohol. I will say that it's a thing of like every girl can go to any frat. Guys like sometimes have to pay to get into frats or they can't get in, so they're just fun. Like, they're just funny because you're like, what, like I would just never do this at home. I was told that we weren't allowed to join sororities. I also just like wouldn't have done it because it cost loads of money and like I didn't feel the need to do it. I don't know how it really works for exchange students, but I know it costs a lot to be in a frat or a sorority. So in terms of how expensive things are, I'll say that I think the US, I find it more expensive in terms of like, we have CVS, which is like the equivalent of like Boots or Superdrug, or it is so expensive. Like, I go in there to just get a few bits, like some shampoo, like body wash, whatever, genuinely adds up to like $40 and I'm like, what? Like, so yeah, that's expensive. Food in shops is quite expensive, but I do think drinks on nights out are pretty similar to at home. Like the main bar we always go to, they have open bar for 3 hours, so like you'll pay like $10 cover to get in and then you get free drinks for like 3 hours. So like going out is not always that expensive. Obviously the drinks at frats are free, and then yeah, I wouldn't say the bars are that expensive. They put tax on everything, which obviously is different to the UK. So yeah, that also just makes everything more expensive because like you go with this stuff and you're like, oh, this adds up to like 15, and then it's like, oh yeah, then when you're at the checkout they add tax. In terms of just like in general the people here and like the culture shock, I feel like a lot of people, it's like so nerve-wracking when you obviously come to the US from the UK. It's like, what if I don't get along with people? Do not stress about that. It's really easy to get along with people here, in my opinion. Obviously there's different humor, like there's differences, But I do think that that is kind of funny. I feel like it creates a lot of conversation. You always have something to talk about because like you're British, they're American. Those differences you have are kind of, oh my god, this is so anthro. Can you tell I study anthropology? Genuinely, I find that those differences don't cause like a big disconnect. Like I find it funny, it's just funny and pretty easy to make friends here. People are really friendly. Like I said before, really nice to also have other friends who were exchange students just because they're in the same boat as you. College has, you know, thousands and thousands of people. I don't know how many, but thousands. No, it has a lot of people, so you will find friends. On the topic of finding friends, a tip I would give, which I feel like I would give to anybody going to a new university, is joining a club. Such a good way to make friends. I made so many friends from dance. Shout out to Extreme, I love you guys. Oh my god, I actually need to talk faster because my phone keeps running out of storage. But when you join a club, you are always going to have a shared interest with all those people in the club. I joined a dance club, made so many friends from it. Join a club. If you're going on an exchange year, join a club. Even if you don't have a specific hobby, dance, there's so many clubs at a place like UF. Like so many clubs. You can go to those, like, you know, those big things where you walk around, there's like tables and people talking about their club. Like there's genuinely something for everyone. So I would definitely recommend doing that if you are going on an exchange year. But yeah, those are kind of like the main things which I thought would be important to talk about. But message me or comment or whatever if you have any other things that you want me to talk about, because I can totally make another video. I probably didn't actually cover like everything at all, but those are kind of just like the main things people ask me about quite a lot. Okay, I like just realized I haven't even talked about classes. I just talked about everything else, like frat parties, alcohol, classes. We don't need to talk about that. No, I'm quickly talk about classes. I was really lucky that this year doesn't count towards my final grade. I only have to pass, so I've had like a bit of a relax kind of thing. Like it's not, hasn't been as much pressure, but it's different for every university, so you just have to check that. Classes are more attendance based and like participation based, so you kind of have to log in with that, which is a bit of an adjustment from home. I'm used to just like being able to miss class and watch it online and no one even knows I wasn't there. Here it's like you kind of have to go because like 30, 40 or more of your grade will be attendance based, participation based, in-class quizzes. For me, I do anthropology and I haven't found the standard of work harder. I found that easier, but there's more work to hand in, if that makes sense. So like I'm doing assignments every week, you have to keep on top of it, so that is a bit of an adjustment. But yeah, I really hope this video was helpful. If you have any more questions, I can totally make another video. And obviously if you just want to get general vibes of what it's like, I do have vlogs and we'll have more vlogs coming soon. So yeah, thanks for watching guys.